Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to yet another Venger Satanis review. As you guys know, I've already reviewed the first two Chalt books, and I enjoyed them immensely. The humor, the overall world of Chalt, all the little tiny little things that Venger does to really, make it his own, obviously, and to entice the reader into, playing in his world, which is a rich, humorous, very in-depth world. Hopefully one of my good friends is going to be running us through the Black Pyramid or something like that, which I'm actually really looking forward to. Hopefully I'll be able to have forgotten enough to make it, a bit of a challenge when that finally comes around. And as you guys know, he mostly does fantasy, his own stuff, and his own world, his own rules, etc. And I noticed he had a sci-fi book called Alpha Blue, and I'm like, okay, well, let's give it a shot. Disclaimer before we go into this any further: this is not for the faint of heart, and it's got a lot of very adult material. Nothing I haven't seen before. Nothing I probably haven't done before, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And after a little bit of a snafu there, thanks again, Venger, for being so understanding. He actually sent me a couple extra books, which I'm going to review next month. More sci-fi, as it turns out. But Alpha Blue is basically a brothel in space. And I don't know about you, but I've run a lot of sci-fi games out there, and there's as we talked about in last week's Sci-Fi Shadow Chat, we explored the seedier underside and the underworlds of sci-fi gaming, and that more or less goes right along with the review I'm going to give you guys for Alpha Blue. For the most part, it is chock full of all kinds of adventure ideas and hooks and things. Of course, there is a lot of adult material throughout every page of the book. The artwork is, in some cases, a little amateurish, but maybe they're going for a cartoony style. But in other cases, some of the artwork is stellar. The picture of a certain doctor was really, really well done. Everything is really not that bad when it comes to the art. Some of it was there's a couple of pages that are maybe a little bit too graphic for the average gamer, but there's a lot of adult material out in the gaming world, and this is no exception. It's probably the apogee of the adult material out there. For those of you who are in a group that this sort of thing comes up, then this is going to be right up your alley. For the average gamer, probably just something to read through, get a couple hundred, a couple hundred good chuckles, a couple of in there as well. But for the most part, I had a lot of fun reading it. The one thing Venger does better than just about anybody else is incorporate and sneak in pop culture references, and I'm pretty sure I caught all of them, Venger. There were some really good ones in there, from all kinds of, not just sci-fi, but obviously fantasy and pop culture movies and things like that. References thrown in with the absolute plethora of random charts for, you name it, they're there. Anything you could possibly need to know or want to know, randomly roll up, from equipment and treasures and stuff like that, to motivations and occupations and random happenings all throughout the station, as well as toward the end of the book, a huge number of very, very interesting and humorous plot hooks in one paragraph, sometimes maybe 5 or 6 paragraphs, that could set you on an adventure that could last you easily 6 months if you're even if I should say you're playing rather regularly. If you're in a once a week campaign, a sci-fi campaign, which there really aren't enough of those, this book will definitely give you some food for thought and give you all kinds of things to work with. And excuse me, I was going to sneeze there. Just a whole bunch of great things you can throw in there and see if your players are paying attention. If they catch the reference, awesome. You know, you get a good round of laughter around the table, and you can go on to the next thing, which is sure to inspire yet another round of laughter. Provided, you know, like I said before, that you have a very good group of mature or very immature gamers, you know, depending on the situation in your table. Of course, miles may vary, but for the most part, I'm glad I got it. I am definitely going to have to hide it from the boy because you guys know him. He's not okay with this sort of thing, but you know, he's only 15 and he hasn't seen the big wide world out there like most of us have, and gone off and done the things that grown-ups do, of which this book is chock full of references, all the way back to Woody Allen's Sleeper, Red Dwarf, Star Wars, Star Trek. You name the movie, you name the TV show, there's probably at least one reference to it at least. But just be warned, it's not going to be for everybody, but for this old gamer, I definitely had a fun time reading it. I don't think I needed to scrub anything off. You know, I didn't feel like I actually needed a shower or anything like that. It's not that bad, but rest assured, when he you know, says it's a sleazy book, he's not kidding. But you know, I know some folks out there that this is right up their alley, and I will get to them and have a little chat with them through Discord or email or what have you. I hope he does some more sci-fi stuff. This was obviously you know, something that had been, you know, brewing in his mind for quite some time. Mind you, he wrote this back, I believe, in 2016. Yep, 2016. So that was, you know, 6 years ago, and I'm sure he's got more things on the back burner, or even, you know, in the works right now. I'm really looking forward to the next book that I will get from him, which I don't know which one I'm going to get. I'm not sure if Chalk 3 is actually out there. If not, that's definitely on my shopping list. But if you guys have read more of his books than just the ones that I've recommended and reviewed, obviously, let me know which ones you guys really enjoyed. Venger, if you catch this, let me know what you got going on, what you're working on. I would definitely like to get some of those cards you mentioned, but I've already bought the first two books, and I really don't need to buy them again. Maybe we can work a deal for those people like myself who've got most of the books but still want the cards, just to use them, you know, for gameplay, etc. I promise I won't put them on eBay. There's already enough of that nonsense. But thanks again, Venger. This was a lot of fun, and no emotional scarring whatsoever. I'm good to go. I got a game in about 2 hours with the regular group. Bo from Bo Paints Minis, Brian from Weird World War II. If you guys have not subbed to those guys, go out there and sub to it. Brian, this is probably right up your alley, and if you don't own it, as our good friend James would say, what are you doing with your life? It was like $15. I'm sure you'll frame it, put it up on your wall, and enjoy it for years to come. Everybody else out there, have a great weekend. We're almost into October, and you know what that means. The boy and I are going to be busy. Probably putting out 1 to 2 videos every day throughout the month of October, because it is just ripe with craft ideas and opportunities, thanks to our local Dollar Tree and 99-cent store and things like that. Although most of that stuff's probably sold out as I speak, but that's what we got going on. I hope you guys will give this book a chance, and if not, don't make a big thing out of it. And until next time, folks, happy trails.